Okay, so hi everyone, welcome back to the NMAT series. Today we have Rituja with us here, who is going to NMIMS Mumbai, and very proud that she has bagged the merit rank 12, which is like such an amazing thing. So congratulations, Rituja, on that.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
So tell us, Rituja, like you had a good NMAT score, a 265. So what was your approach to this whole interview and what preparation? Like, what was something new for NMIMS this year? So what was your strategy to the whole preparation?
Yeah. So first of all, the new aspect was that instead of a case discussion, this time they had a WAT, which is a written ability test. Honestly, I think that was something that worked in my favor because I'm very good with my written skills. So I thought that it's not that I think when compared to my speaking ability, my writing ability shines more. So I think that's one thing that helped. And I think that helps most people because that's something that you can control. No one else is overpowering the discussion. It's not that you got anxious and you couldn't talk, because I think even with the best of speakers, it happens at times that everyone has said a point and then you're like, oh my god, everyone has said the point, I can't just reiterate the same thing. So yeah, I think this gives the marks in your own control, and you feel a lot more responsible also towards performing well. So that was one. So with respect to WAT, um, although it was something that came to me naturally, I still did practice writing it a few times. And also, other than that, I had joined Cat King's GDPI program for NMIMS and other B schools. So yeah, that helped. I'd say that the live sessions that were conducted every day, I think that's like something I don't see any other class doing for GDPI. So because I know dossiers are given by most, everything is given by most, but then there's this thing that you have done your best to prepare. I think that's what came like after I took this course. I think I joined in January. We had sessions in January, February. I had my interview in mid-February, I guess. Like till the end, we had sessions. I think even after that, I stopped taking them, but I think you guys continue. So even though I did not log in every single day, I used to skip a few sessions, some things which I knew that, okay, I know this because I'm from a BBA background. So I knew a bit of marketing, like 4Ps. I would watch it on fast forward maybe after see those recorded sessions.
Correct.
But it really did give you this feeling that you have done everything that you can to prepare the most that you can, because you covered aspects from marketing, finance, current affairs, and yeah, I think I'm covering most of it. And personal interview questions, that how to, and I really liked how each and every question was there on the dashboard, like, and with interaction from students like us who have been there, done that, and like there's a separate video for each question. Tell me about yourself, or say why MBA. So you can actually see what three different people who got into three different B schools answered. So that helps you make your own answer. It doesn't give you a ready-made answer. It helps make you your own answer.
Yeah. That's lovely.
And if nothing, that this is the hygiene factor, that this is at least what that needs to be said. And you at least come to know that these are the things that you shouldn't say. So yeah, that. And other than that, my prep for GD was reading newspapers and reading Economic Times. It's very easy to read Times of India. It's very interesting, something or the other. It's just reporting, but it's a little tough to read Economic Times if you're not used to it. So you have to build that habit. And in fact, I'd say that these articles, which are like ideas or opinions, they help a lot more because they condense a big concept into one part, and then you can actually explain the same thing to someone else. Whereas if you just read stories every day, this happened with Amazon and say Reliance Futures, Reliance and Future First, not Future First, Reliance and Future Group. So like if you just keep on reading every day, you might not get a holistic picture of the issue. But I think this was covered in one of the sessions in Cat King also, the entire Amazon and Future Group dispute. So I think things like that, maybe watching videos like that, or something like what Cat King did, if someone joins the course, then they can get an idea of the current affairs and really understand it from start to end.
Correct, correct.
When you talk about cryptocurrency, not just knowing, okay, that Bitcoin has risen, but why has it risen? Knowing the entire timeline. I think even that was explained in one of Cat King's sessions by Sir, wherein he talked about the basics of Bitcoin, and he talked about why has it been rising throughout the year. So if you just made notes on it and you read them again and again, that would have really helped.
Lovely. So
That's
it helps to build your perspective. You have to get your opinions and your
correct.
thought process built onto it. So that's really nice. How about your actual NMIMS interview? Like, how was it? Was it similar to how your mocks were, or something what you prepared, or was it off track?
It was very similar to what I prepared. I was very surprised with the kind of questions that used to come on the group. Like, I used to be very shocked. Maybe even I'll get some such off questions. So I used to keep preparing. Like, I think that is also a good tip, that whatever questions you see on the groups, whichever group you're a part of, you should start making a note of them and see what answers will you give for that.
Right.
Like how are the 30 stocks in BSE decided? That's
Hmm.
one question I saw, and I did not know the answer to that. So I started researching about that. I know there's only so much that you can study, but try doing that, because those are real interview questions asked by real panelists.
Yes.
So that's one thing that helps. Other than that, my real interview experience, it wasn't very stressful. It was they made me comfortable. They made sure that I wasn't they didn't make me too anxious about anything. It was a very friendly interview. And yeah.
Lovely. Do you remember any questions that you were asked?
Yes, the very first and most cliche question. I think you can say that, ma'am.
Tell me something about yourself, Rituja.
Yeah. So yeah,
Lovely. And
it
what
is cliche for a reason.
it's something which sets your rhythm, right? Like you can drive then the interview into your flow as well.
Correct.
Lovely.
Correct.
Any other questions that you remember that you were asked?
So after that, I was asked. So along with this question, I was asked, what is your favorite course? What is
Okay.
your favorite subject? So I
Hmm.
think they do this at times for you to remember that. Oh, do you remember the second question that I asked? So
Yeah.
they asked, tell me about yourself. They said a few things, and then after that, and also your favorite subject. So after you finish, you have to remember to say that. Oh, and my favorite subject is this.
Yeah. So those
Uh,
are questions you're remembering and answering. Nice.
yeah, so they try to test you on how attentive and alert you were
Mhm.
during the interview. So that was the next question. So I answered whatever my favorite subject was, and they asked me a question based on that.
Okay.
uh, now over there, I did not answer it completely correctly. I was
Hmm.
half correct, and they pointed out that you're not completely correct here. So now the lesson here is to not get scared after that and ruin the rest of the interview. So I did not say it entirely correctly, and yet I am selected. So that shows that one mistake does not decide the entire fate of your interview. And sometimes what you do is you feel that you have messed it up, and that becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. You do everything in your power to make sure that it is messed up.
Correct.
So
That's
yeah.
interesting. Lovely. And what was your what topic? Did you get a generic topic or was it a situational based?
Okay, so my what topic was something which would have been very nice for an engineer to write on. It was something about program as a service,
Okay.
and it was about how these big companies like Google and Microsoft and all of these are becoming monopolies. I'm simplifying it a lot. They wrote it in a
Hmm.
very technical language. I'm just
Yeah.
oversimplifying it. And
Okay.
actually that's what I did in my head too, because I couldn't understand half of the things that were written there. I didn't know details about cloud computing. I did not know details about program as a service.
Okay.
So what I did was I tried to get the crux of the case study. It was a one paragraph case
Hmm.
study. There have been instances where people have gotten really big passages about satellites or God knows what. I was lucky that it wasn't that much about something. It wasn't about something entirely alien to me.
Hmm.
I knew about the big four, Google, Microsoft, and all, and I read a lot of articles about how um, these companies are monopolizing,
Hmm.
and there are antitrust cases against them. It was
Correct.
more on those lines.
Hmm.
So now, like if you see the out of the entire paragraph, one paragraph was based on the half of the paragraph was based on the antitrust part, and the other part was based on program as a service and cloud computing.
Hmm.
So the smart thing to do here is I did not know a lot about the cloud computing part. So I elaborated on that part and include that, and also mention whatever you can about program as a service, whatever you understand. So what I understood it as was it allowed you to break up the monopolies. So I understood it and I wrote it in a few lines. You cannot absolutely ignore that, because then that would mean that you did not take all points into consideration. But yeah, write whatever you can about it. And I wrote around 379 words. So
that's good.
Yeah,
that's
I think sorry.
That's pretty enough, like a 350 plus in the what.
Correct.
That's good.
No, I'm just mentioning this because many people said that don't write more than 350 words. It's not allowed. Correct. So for like just busting that myth there, that it's not that if you write too many words that you'll face any issues over there. Yeah.
Lovely.
Because I was scared for a while that, okay, will it be taken against me that I've written so much?
Yeah. And then you have, when everybody keeps talking about things, then you make that as a mindset of, oh shit, I have written so much, I'm too out, I'm not going to be selected.
Yeah.
So you just get the negative thoughts coming in.
Correct.
That's very interesting. Any parting thoughts or tips you would give this people? Because your NMIMS gives a very short time period for the interview prep. Like by the time the final merit list is out and the final interview dates are out, there's a very short time gap. Did you start before, once you got your scores in hand, or how was, what would you suggest the students to do?
So I gave my second exam in early January. So after that, I think the scores, the results were going to come out in the end of January. But then they got delayed by a week because they extended the exam dates. So we got so I couldn't wait till 8th February to start my prep. So I started it soon after I gave my second exam. So I think people should start at least a month before the results are going to be announced, because after the results are announced, you never know that your interview might be one of the first. So they announced the results on, I think, 11th Feb, and I was my interview was on the second day. So so had I not been prepared, I would have been completely shocked, and then that works against you, right?
Yeah.
So it's better to start preparing a month in advance. So I think January is a good time because most B schools have interviews around that time. So I think early January. Yeah.
Okay, that's lovely. So thank you so much, Rituja, for sharing your whole experience and strategy and tips with us. Wish you all the best and stay in touch.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.